Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's weekend update. Now, before I get started, just wanted to say real quick, these videos are all free, always free. So there's a link at the bottom there. Feel free to share it. Let's get those page views up. Motivate me to keep doing these videos for you guys. So before we jump in, we're just going to take a really quick look at the Dow chart. Now, you'll see here on the Dow, I've been talking about it in the chat room, how everyone seems to be expecting this V recovery, even though it seems, the evidence out there is a lot of these jobs are not coming back. And sooner rather than later, these large cap stocks are going to start to pay the price for this bad economic data that's coming. Now, just a quick look here on the Dow chart. We've got this red line, which is a 200-day moving average. That is the resistance level we are looking at right now. When the market initially sold off in March, it was unable to break through that level, and that ended up sending the market way down to those lows. We again could not break that 200-day moving average this week, and the selling is picking up and stronger on the red days than on the green days. For example, earlier in the week, we moved up about 500-600 points or more on lower volume than what we saw selling on Friday, and that is typically a warning sign. A lot of the action I've been seeing out there is a lot like we saw in early March. Now, that doesn't mean you need to rush out and do cash. We want large caps red, because when large caps are red, we start to see all the action flow to the stocks that we play. But for right now, we're trapped between the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average on the Dow. And actually, if we see the large cap stocks just start to trade in this narrow range here, again, that would be another great sign for the kinds of stocks that we play. So I'm not going to go over all the charts just like last week. I'm just going to go over ones that get talked a lot of and ones that we have larger positions in going into this week. It seems like every week I have to talk about FRSX. And about 400 times a day in the chat room, I have to say the exact same thing on this chart. I mentioned on Friday, number one trading tip I could give someone, if you can't sleep at night on a position you are holding, you have too many shares. You're not supposed to be stressing out on stocks. You're not supposed to be holding positions, crap in the bed, holding and wondering if you're going to make money. Now, on this chart, I'm going to leave my notes as whenever I do these weekend updates, hopefully for the ones that we've done prior. And last week, we had looked at this nice flag formation that I had set up on the 1 hour chart. And lo and behold, the stock did another nice pop up to $1.04. And then, as is the case on this stock, it went back down. And because it didn't run 50% in a couple of hours, everyone and their mom is crying. But if you step back and look at this chart, lo and behold, we're back to the support level. The chart looks great, and this upcoming week should see another move higher. I mean, these kinds of stocks that trade in these ranges are fantastic if you know how to approach them. You keep a swing position, and then you have a dip day trade position that ends up making these positions free after a number of trades. We did this very successfully on Mark over the last couple of months, and this is one of the stocks that we're doing it again on. Now, I wanted to pull up UAV's chart. A lot of guys who came into the chat room over the last couple of months came in because of this monster win on UAVS. But let me tell you, UAVS was exactly like Mark was and was exactly like FRX was before you guys all showed up. This was a stock that would run up, run down, run up, run down. You guys only saw the UAVS when it did that 700% move. Sometimes these plays require patience and they give big dips, shake you and scare you before they end up going on big runs. The goal of a lot of these charts is to shake everyone out so that they'll chase these stocks back higher. Now, of course, the other stock that everyone keeps talking about over and over and over again is HTGM. Again, it's one of my favorite COVID-19 penny plays because we're expecting a press release on COVID-19. Now, we had a bonus situation on Friday. They were presenting a poster at ASCO. That's not the reason we are in this stock. We are in this stock for the research we found last month about them being a major player in COVID-19 research. Most people still are unaware of that situation. They will be aware whenever these guys wake up and drop a press release. But when we looked at this chart last week, we had this 46-cent breakout. I had this circle up here saying we were looking for a move to 60. It ended up running to 65. So despite all the crying and whining, The stock ran up, came back down, consolidated, and then ran another 50% again. And of course, it eased back off again. Another beautiful trading stock, yet you have guys crying and whining all day long. I just don't get it. These are fantastic setups. Now, this support line that I drew last week, I left this little gap here, but we just continue it here, and lo and behold, on Friday, this stock pulled right back to that support line. Now, maybe we'll get a press release on Monday regarding the ASCO presentation. Maybe we won't. I'm not in it for the ASCO presentation. I'm in it for a COVID-19 press release. Nice setup. We should see this one bounce nicely back to the 60-cent area next week. Now, I'm going to pull up a multi-year chart here on HTGM, and actually let me back it out here. You can see here, 200-day moving average. We came up, we hit it, we broke through it briefly, and then it came right back down. No surprise at all. This is what happens. Stocks don't go 50% every day. A lot of guys are just getting spoiled looking at some of the mania moves we've seen recently. But you can see here on a 2-year chart, look at the potential on this stock. I mean, we have seen garbage, gigantic float stocks like XSPA that we knew was going to push out a COVID-19 press release. They did, and the stock doubled. We know these guys are going to push out a COVID-19 press release. It's a matter of when, not if. This thing, when it breaks through that 200-day moving average and closes above it, you know, you're going to have people who know this news is coming, who are whining and crying. They're probably going to be chasing this stock at 1 whenever that press release comes. Going into next week, ALJJ Vegas opens next Thursday, and these guys are a big retail play in Las Vegas. And the beauty of this play, it's a fresh stock. There's a lot of stocks that have been really overplayed just because that's the nature of the beast when you're playing the under one stocks. This is a fresh play. It's a retail play on Las Vegas opening next week. This breaks through that 67, 70 cent area. We're looking at the 200-day moving average 1+ this week. The indicators are very, very strong on this one. ADX, this is a momentum indicator, is in a vertical move up. We've got stochastics breaking up through the 50 level. This chart looks great going into next week. Another chart play I really like is VOLT. Again, along that same theme, it's a fresh stock. These are a job placement firm. When this chart looked like this back in April, it had a monster move up, came back, consolidated. We had a nice pop there on Thursday. It came back a little bit. We've got nice action, as you can see on the momentum indicators. But if we look here on the 1-hour chart, this stock has great support here. I mean, we've got an excellent band of support on a stock that when it breaks over 1, you're going to have a lot of people chasing after this stock. Quick mention on CIDM. They did an offering, came right back down, chart setting up nicely. It actually popped on Friday. It had a nice little press release, but it came right back down again. Chart is still in play. We've got support at the 50-day at 81 cents. Everything's ready to go on this one again. Now, the reason this one was one we jumped back into was Genius. Had a big move out of the blue, but you recall that video I said about financing. Lo and behold, that had a crazy move up on Thursday, and yep, they dropped another offering. Somehow these guys are able to continually get away with this crooked stuff, but hopefully that move would have taught you something fishy and smelling was coming on this stock and saved you getting trapped in that offering. COCP. Ugh. Talk about a great chart just waiting to break out. We've got the 200-day moving average above, the 50-day moving average below. It's probably going to take a really big press release. Charts like this, when they do go, typically they go massively. So when this stock does break out, this would be the type of big up move I would expect this one to do, just because I've seen this kind of chart setup and action usually correspond to a big, big move. Quick mention on IZEA. IZEA, that was fantastic news from Baba this past week about them hiring influencers. That just means these guys are positioned in a great market right now. This is a 1-hour chart. Again, pullback. We've got great support. Would be very, very surprised if we don't see this one make a push up to the 70 to 80 cents in the next few days. Quick mention on a couple of retailers, KIRK. These guys are reporting earnings on Thursday. It had a huge 50% move when they pre-announced that report 2 weeks ago. It's consolidating nicely. You'll see the chasers come in when they break through $1.20. And then last but not least, how do I not talk about RTW, our favorite retail play? This is one we're up from, what, 16 to 20 cents, 200% now, as this one just slowly moves higher. It's starting to get ready to go on one of those big moves. 51 cents is the area. The name of this company, New York & Company. They got stores all over the place, loaded with cash. 200-day moving average is the target. Lots of places opening up, malls opening up, cities are opening up. Should see an opening up press release from these guys, and then everyone's going to be chasing them. So that's it for the weekend update. Have an awesome weekend, everyone, and be sure to share that video. And I will see you all in the chat room on Monday. Bye.